I'm here with Jon Stewart, former host of The Daily Show and longtime supporter of the Warrior Games and just flat out overall amazing human being. So thank you so much for joining us today, Jon.
No worries, man. Happy to see you again, Travis. Sorry that the games aren't happening this year, but looking forward to next year.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It had to happen, unfortunately, and safety is always the top concern. So,
Sure.
it wasn't, the decision wasn't made lightly, but it was the best decision. So
Safety,
real quick,
it's interesting. Safety is always the top concern, except for mine. I remember when we did the games in Colorado Springs, DT, my friend DT, who's on the SOCOM Warrior Games team, made me go up in a plane and they threw me out of it. So there is safety for the athletes, but for the host, not as much.
That's because they love you. They did it out of love.
That's exactly right.
Like you mentioned before, unfortunately, it was just announced that the 2020 games have been canceled this year in an effort to keep everyone safe. So what message do you want to deliver to the athletes, the coaches, their families who would have been participating or who participate in the Warrior Care programs?
Right. I mean, the one thing to remember is, as they well know, this isn't a battle fought once a year. This is a day-to-day struggle that they know that they have to be in all the time. And the Warrior Games is a wonderful celebration of that love and support and struggle, but it's merely a stepping stone, and that we will be back the next year. And I certainly don't have to talk to them about resilience and tenacity, but I know that it's a disappointment, but one that we will overcome and move through. And the next year will be even bigger, and it'll be even sweeter when we all get to be together again after this really difficult time.
Yeah, and as you know, and as you've mentioned, the Warrior Games couldn't happen without the support of so many out there, whether it be the community or sponsors or supporters.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it so important to support something like the Warrior Games?
Well, just on straight up, I think it saves lives. I think it re-engages wounded warriors. When you are a part of that community, first of all, when you're injured, whether it be visible or invisible, it's isolating. You're immediately removed from, your support structure, your platoon, your unit. And so that's really difficult. The second aspect of it is, generally speaking, competitive, physical individual. Tenacious, athletic, very accustomed to accomplishment, very accustomed to being able to physically do things that you and I only can admire. And so when you lose that part of yourself, it's a difficult transition. And when you find these adaptive sports again, it's a way to reconnect to that camaraderie, to that tenacity, to that sense of accomplishment, to that sense of purpose. And it's a wonderful tool to remind these warriors about how much they still have to offer. And so the message of the games is the process of the games. It's the process of reconnecting to that part of yourself that was so much a part of your identity and so much a part of your life. And it really, I've seen it transform people in a really beautiful way and profound way. And second of all, for the caregiver community and the family community, a warrior doesn't go through his injury by himself. The family and the support system and the caregivers go through it with them. And it's a wonderful way to mark milestones for everyone involved and to celebrate how far they've all come. And still, look, it's not Pollyanna. Nobody thinks that, these games happen, everybody goes home and it's not a challenge anymore, but it's a reminder of just how far you've come in this journey of not allowing your worst day to define you. And that's what I think is so important about
Awesome. Well, 2020 may be canceled, but 2021 is still scheduled, right? It's still on for 2021. The details are still to be determined, but we know all the athletes love their Jon Stewart selfie. So a couple of questions. One, have you been practicing your selfie
Okay.
poses? Because it's crucial. And two, can we expect to see you next year?
You can absolutely expect to see me next year. Hopefully not looking as ragged as you see me right now. Hopefully you won't be getting Albert Einstein or some version of Doc Brown from Back to the Future. When this all lifts, I assume I'll be able to get a haircut and clean up this ugly mug so that when I get down there, we can have ourselves some fun. But really looking forward to it.